Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. I am your host and dungeon master for tonight, the real Josh T. And before we get into introductions and all the other things, today is a very special day, and it's not just because one of our favorite characters might die in the first 5 minutes of this episode. It's because 1 year ago, technically one year ago, like tomorrow, but 1 year ago, we started this game. We've been doing this for a whole year. That's crazy.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I mean, I couldn't ask for a better group to play with. Pretty much every week for a year. I don't have any fancy drinks. I just have Cascara iced tea.
I put multiple beers in here because it just looked so. There's such a massive mug that, Plus, if Echo dies, I'm not gonna pour it out. Like that would be bad. But we're also celebrating a year, so here we go.
Yeah, it's a celebration night. It's just that kind of night. There's a lot of reasons, but thank you to my players. The four of you are the greatest in the world, and thank you to all of our viewers and like friends who've showed up pretty much every week, and when you couldn't show up, you watched the VOD or listened to it on Spotify. So you guys are awesome. We appreciate all of you, and thank you. So here's to 1 year.
Right back at you, nerd. You've done a great job, Josh.
Thank you. So with all that out of the way, I guess everyone here, if you could introduce yourself, let me know who you are, where we could find you, what character you play, and what's the question this week? It's got to be a good one. Because it might be the last one from Echo's perspective. So I'm gonna milk that as long as I can. So who you are, what character you play, and what, like, with 80s high school movie stereotypes, what group would your character fit into? Like, if they were in, say like they were another add-on in the Breakfast Club, like what would their thing be? Are they like, just you? I think you know what I'm getting at, but if you need examples, just ask. So whoever feels most comfortable. Maybe we could start with someone who was probably in high school in the 80s. I don't know.
That is rude.
None of us were in high school in the 80s now.
No. Yeah, Josh, who started? Oh gosh, you know what? That's it. Just messed up. I guess that means we're starting with me.
All right, Jake. When were you in high school?
In the 90s.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
When you were like 5. Anyways, my name is Jake. At JnJ _ sometimes not. You can find me if you want. I am playing Vael, who is the Elven Fighter Warlock. And what group? I feel like Vael. Oh man, in high school, you gotta turn up the angst even more than he already has it. I think he would be kind of like with Judd Nelson's character. I think he would be a little bit of an outcast, someone who's probably smarter than his grades ever show, or like the effort he gives, because he doesn't think school is worthy of his attention. But he would be like a loyal friend if ever you really did catch his attention. So I think that would be his niche, if I had to pick one. Yeah. How about you, Izzee? Curious about Melly's response to this.
I might need like an example or two, because I'm trying to place like the time period in my head to think of really, because like.
So, like, you could think like Freaks and Geeks. Like, are you like a jock, one of the popular kids, like, or you're in like the AV club, like you playing D&D in the basement? Like, what's, what do you have? Are you one of the like super nerdy rejects that like really just can't have conversations? Are you one of like the nerds that is like actually, you know, we're nerds and we don't care, or like what are, you know, what's your story? Talk to me. Just we're
Okay.
talking
Okay. All right.
stereotypes.
So, I'm Izzee, as Jake said. I play Melly, and I definitely think Melly would be one of the popular kids, but not like the irritating popular kids. Like, she's friends with everybody because she's genuinely like just a nice person with the high ponytail, with like the little curls at the end of it, you know? Like with like the little white cardigan, and she
Yep.
wears like a long skirt every day.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Wait, is Melly a homeschool kid?
Maybe. And she just hangs around the high school because she's a weirdo. All right, so I'm going to pass that off to Evan.
Okay. What's up? I'm Evan, aka Evbo. You can find me right below my face here where I think it says Halfling Monk. No, you can find me at It's Evbo everywhere. ITSEVB. Oh, there it is. As soon as I pointed, it changed. That's fun. So you can find me on Twitter and everything else at It's Evbo. I have a YouTube channel that I hardly use anymore, but I'm going to be putting music up there. And I stream on Twitch rarely, but I'm working on that now. I play Echo, who is a halfling monk who I love more than life itself. And like, boy, howdy, I'd be pretty upset if he died. But, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes you make bad decisions and it comes back to bite you. And what would Echo be? I think Echo would hang out with the theater kids, like the drama kids, but would not be one himself and did not realize that that's what they were. I think he would just be drawn to that crowd. If you're like, oh, you know, these guys seem fun, and would just like hang out with them, and then they'd be like, hey, we're gonna be, you know, staying after to do a thing. You want to come hang out? And he'd be like, no, I'm tired. I'm gonna go home. But they're like working on a show. I think that's where Echo lands.
I love that.
What about you, Michael?
I'm Michael, also known as Mr. Yoda I Am. And it's Mr. Yoda I Am everywhere, pretty much, except I don't have a YouTube because I don't make content other than this. But I would, and I play Mac, who's a halfling rogue. And I would probably say that he's an athlete, but not a popular one. You know, he's more of just kind of like, he is an athlete with that kind of mentality, but he's not like the quarterback athlete. He's not the one that's normally in the front. He kind of just does his job in the back.
He's the offensive lineman.
Yeah, except not, you know, not that big. But
Well, yeah, he's just tiny.
That's great. All right. Lovely. Does anyone have anything they want to shout out to? And I know I forgot to mention that for your introductions. Obviously, if you have something going on, I know, Evan, you did a stream this week. I missed the live stream, but I watched the VOD, and that was a lot of fun. Never played Paper Mario, but it's one of those games that just always seems like a lot of fun to me.
It is a lot of fun. I've been I'm streaming that. I'm going to keep that series going. I want to try to make it, you know, a little more regular, so it's probably going to be Mondays. That seems to be the plan. And I'm doing all the voice acting, with all the characters and getting fun voices with voice mod. As you guys have heard, for Echo's voice, actually it's been a little bit of time, but
when Echo uses his ghost-wise telepathy.
And all sorts of fun stuff like that. So, using the very cool tools in voice mod, got some cool voices going, and that's pretty much it. It's a lot of fun. So, hop on over there, drop me a follow at It's Evbo, and yeah, that's my only shout out.
Can I put you on the spot and have you do a voice from the game, or is that asking too much?
No, I could do something. Let me see. Who do we have already ready?
I know all the Koopas have the same voice, right?
Oh yeah, well, I mean the Koopas all kind of have the same voice. They just, you know, pretty simple stuff. You know, that's sort of the fun of it too. Is it's not just voice mod. I'm like actually, you know, doing a little bit of acting. We've got the Tech, the supercomputer. Hello,
Princess Peach. I am Tech, the world's most advanced supercomputer.
You know, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
That's
Oh
awesome.
man, I hate that I missed this last one.
It was good. I was really every time you stream, because I never pay attention to Discord notifications. Every time you stream, I end up like going on Twitter and seeing like, oh hi, I'm live doing this thing, and I'm like, oh sweet, and I click on it and it's like ended stream 7 minutes ago. No.
A lot of times the
I'm gonna
Discord
pay-
bot is like asleep. Like I go live toward the end of the stream. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, just so you guys know,
That
I got
happens.
it.
Yeah,
Good night.
it's awkward.
It's funny. But Mondays, I will be there to check it out if you're doing it this Monday. Either way, any Monday, I'll just check just in case. But, and you should too. Twitch.tv/itsevbo. So what else do we have going on? Well, this is Rare Drop Roleplay. Rare Drop Roleplay is a part of Rare Drop. Rare Drop does all sorts of fun podcasts and fundraisers and just super cool things. If you want to check out what they have going on, go to raredrop.co for all the things. And if you want to see past episodes of Roleplay or past like lessons or anything like that, just pop over to the Rare Drop Roleplay YouTube channel. Different from just regular Rare Drop channel. Rare Drop Roleplay, it's where you can find all of the roleplay things. You can catch up on past episodes, and if you're like an audio only type of person, go to the Rare Drop Roleplay podcast, where you could listen to all of the past episodes in audio only form and just listen to all of our lovely voices. So you should do that. And wherever and however you're watching or listening or whatever, just be sure to drop a follow, drop a subscription, or like, you know, maybe hit that little bell, that thing, you know, do it. Anyway, that's Rare Drop Roleplay. I'm Josh. I'm from JnJ Tabletop. JnJ Tabletop is a little thing that Jake and I do with the help of our wonderful friends. Some of them here in chat, some of them here on the screen. And basically, we just do all sorts of stuff to help you get the most out of your 5e games and really just your games in general. There's some of it's game specific and some of it is just concept things. So check out all of that, youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. It's a place where your wildest dreams come true. And you know, that's it. We do videos every week on Wednesdays. Our video for last week was a table talk with Material Components, or Sean from Material Components. He's a really cool dude who just essentially he makes like books, makes like 5e books, like journal, notebook type things for your characters and for your campaigns. And that was really cool. He's a nice guy. You should check out that video. For the future, we are going to be doing a new series. All right? Do we have a theme coming up?
We do. Well, on the 21st of September, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight is a Fae-themed adventure. And so we're going to be specializing on the Fae. We're going to talk about a little bit just about the Feywild in general, tips for running Feywild adventures, Fae-themed characters. I may or may not have invented a subclass that we're going to do a video on and we're going to share. I'm not going to tell you more about that until we make the video. But yeah, that's going to be in there. And you should definitely check that out. If you haven't subscribed to youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop, you should. You absolutely should. Because, like Josh said, we're going to help you get the most out of your games. But just like voting for Pedro, all your wildest dreams will come true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
that's the truth, because
Yep.
he said it on the internet.
yes,
And,
if it's on the internet, it's true.
They have to pay you $100 if they lie to you on the internet. I saw that in a meme this week. So yeah.
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Math checks out.
And nobody's paid me $100 from the internet yet, so yeah. It must all be true.
It has to be.
Oh man. So yeah, and also we might potentially have like another little campaign thing that we might do, another mini series, maybe. Still in the planning stages, so we'll see what happens there. But if you want us to do that, then you know, go to our YouTube and request it, or go to our Discord and request it. So do those things. Tonight, we would really love it if you could just clip your favorite moments because, well, I mean, there's probably going to be some crazy moments tonight because we got some crazy stuff coming up. And it's always fun to watch the parts that you guys love and just kind of experience that all together. And also, it just helps with the Rare Drop things when they do clip shows and that kind of stuff. So we like to see what you like to see. So hit the clip button. What's up? What's up?
I want to know what happens.
You want to know what happens?
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
really nervous. It's not even my...
Wow.
Well, I am in the path, but not the same. Yes, I want to know what happens, Joshua.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
This is what I deal with, everybody.
What do you mean?
We
Something
cut to 2 weeks in the future.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you come out of the icy water. Okay, well, with all that being said, let's get into the recap. Last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, and just a heads up, Mr. Jacoby, I'm playing a song.
Gotcha.
Last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our group was given the task of hunting down a dragon. They met some frost giants and did their best to get some help. Melly actually did an excellent job communicating with them and setting up a deal. So they were able to give them the help that they could, which was not much, but it was something. And also, they were offered a reward to find the son of the Jarl, or the Jarl, frost giant, who had also set out about a week ago to fight this dragon. Well, along the way there, this dragon met them on the side of a mountain. And on that mountain, our young halfling friend, Echo, won initiative. He ran as fast as his little halfling feet could take him, which was very far, landed on top of the back of this dragon, and smacked the crap out of it, honestly. He hit this dragon. The dragon fought back. The party tried to attack the dragon, and suddenly Echo fell from the dragon. He ended up catching his fall, but then it was the dragon's turn. Dragon stopped in front of Echo, and it said,
I am ice. I am death.
and it used its breath attack. And that's where we're going to pick up right now. So everyone who is in the range of this attack, Echo, Carrick, Vael, and Melly, all of you, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw as you see the white chest of this massive dragon in front of you begin to glow with this bluish light from within, and Echo, you feel the cold radiating off of it. Everybody roll your saves. Let me know what you got. Godspeed.
Mine was cruel. It was like 17-3.
So here's the fun thing.
Got a 10.
I get to re-roll these.
Oh no! Well, at least you can. Oh my gosh.
Not a good sign, but I have never been more proud to be a halfling than I am right now.
Wow.
I have never been more proud.
Well, What you got?
Come on.
That's a dirty 20, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That is
right,
a
it is.
19 plus 1.
Yes. Oh, thank God.
That is 2 weeks of anxiety.
That's huge.
All right, so Echo with the 19 plus 1. I need everybody else. So Jake, Vael got 3.
His total is a 10, but I'm sure that's a fail.
His total is a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a fail. Echo, that is a save in case you were wondering. And I just need Melly.
So Melly is gonna use Favored by the Gods to roll an extra 2d4 for a total of 15. Now I have a question. Because I know we have a luck point to
Melly's
use that.
blessed too.
I blessed myself?
You did.
Oh, I'm so good.
You
Thanks
can
for
also roll
remembering
another
that.
d4. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're not gonna roll either of those. All right, Sarah and Ray. Bless me. Here we go. Okay, 19.
Yes.
19?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And just to be clear, was that with your your favored by the gods or without?
Yeah, I voted so bad.
Okay.
I needed it.
Okay. Lovely. So, Carrick rolled an 8. Vael rolled a 10. The brothers Singaran failed, but our other friends did in fact save. So, let's roll some dice and see what happens here.
Oh God.
Are we ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna put the mic super close so you could hear all these fall.
Such a
Oh,
jerk.
look at that.
I
Lovely.
don't even know if I can count that high.
All right. So we have time. Whoop. Okay. 17. 23. 24, 25. 33. 40. 47. 55 points of frost damage coming your way as this icy. Oh, wait a second. I guess it's too late. Whatever. I was gonna say Carrick should probably use his luck point, but I forgot to say that beforehand. So I think he's just gonna take a crap ton of damage. So, as this icy blue color begins to build up in the chest of the dragon, it suddenly forces itself out. And you see that this ice kind of begin to the liquid on the ground begins to turn to ice, and you feel this horrible cold. And Vael, you're gonna take 55 points of damage.
I'm going to use a reaction and cast Absorb Elements to half that.
A wise decision.
So that goes down to 27.
Okay, and 27 damage will also be what Echo and Melly take because they saved.
Which is 1 over what I needed to stay conscious. So Echo falls unconscious with 0 HP.
So Echo, for the first time ever, has fallen unconscious to a dragon's breath weapon. Carrick also not doing great, but boy, it pays to write down when you have luck points and don't. Okay, how's Melly doing?
She's still breathing.
She's still breathing?
She's still breathing. Yep.
I have to roll a concentration check. Actually, melee and
Oh, yeah.
so it's half the
Alright.
damage dealt. So that would go down to a DC 13 con save.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I got exactly a 13, so I'm maintaining
Okay.
the concentration.
Melly got a 9, so that's that. Bless is gone, guys.
Okay.
All right. So
Just
Bless
out
is
of
gone.
curiosity, is that something that you would use Bless on?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm just.
I mean, there's still a very small chance that the D4 is going to be it.
Oh,
but-
nope. It's a 1. Oh, these dice are killing me. Okay.
And okay, wait. So it's a what?
I rolled a 1. So,
Okay.
yeah. That,
Okay. So as this, sorry, crazy change here. As this ice comes forth, it's almost like a whiteout that you're inside of. That's just coming from the dragon's mouth. And Mac, you're just a bystander, just kind of watching all of this happen as your friends are just taken over in a flurry, a literal flurry. As it starts to clear, you see Echo falling onto the ground, his skin turning this bluish color as a last breath of that you could see, because it's cold, comes from his mouth as he's falling unconscious. What was going through Echo's mind with all of this happening? Is there anything that you want to say for Echo? Anything at all?
I'll say that the things that have happened in Echo's mind over the last couple seconds were that last hit that he landed on the dragon, he knows, like, felt different, like he maybe dug in a scale or like something. He knew that he did something. And then, you know, obviously had that moment where he was bucked off the thing's back, fell down to the ground, and was face to face with this dragon. And pretty much what's going through his head as he's seeing the thing take, like, it lands next to him and he's winded. He's done so much over those, like, last 12 seconds. He's breathing heavy. Thing lands right in front of him, takes a deep breath, and the only thing that he's thinking is, like, I need to stay awake so I can make sure everyone else gets out of this. And over that, you know, 2 or 3 seconds, however long it takes for that breath to happen, it's just like all neurons firing with just that. Just stay awake. Just stay awake. And then that's it. Just, he's knocked.
Okay. So as Echo has dropped for the first time ever, the dragon standing right in front of him will, let's see, let me just make sure I have my movement right. The dragon will grab onto him with his big meaty claws and say,
"Let this serve as a lesson in respect."
and he'll pick up Echo and just begin to walk back with him. He really doesn't go too far. And with that, where's my note card? Where's my handy dandy note card? With that, it's Isla's turn.
Okay. I think I asked you this off camera, but at least people can let people know what I'm thinking. Can Isla administer a potion like one of those Saint Bernards with the little thing around the neck, like in the snow?
I mean,
how did we say we wanted to handle that?
Like maybe, but it would probably like. I think it would still take an action to like set that potion up, to set her up with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to get you're gonna have to, the top and everything, and either strap it to her or have her hold it this certain way, or so it's.
I don't think Isla's gonna do really anything then.
Okay.
She's just an owl.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't think of anything.
So then it would be Carrick's turn. And Carrick himself is honestly kind of messed up. So he okay. How far away are we? He is going to start to move forward, and you can see that like there's like kind of ice forming on him and like all over him, and as he walks forward, some of the ice and frost begins to just like shake off of him. And he will take 5, 10, 15, 20, and pull out his bow. And say, "You're not going anywhere with him." And he's gonna roll a 22 to attack.
Just as a reminder,
Yes.
all attacks until the end of Echo's next turn have advantage due to the dragon being crushed.
An 18 to attack. Still 22. And let's see. That will be 10, 13, 18 piercing damage. Against the dragon, and we're actually hold one moment because we're gonna speed this back up, methinks. Okay. So as arrow goes through, smacks into the side of the dragon, it just kind of bounces off, and the arrow shatters on his scales. It almost seems like it's pointless, but he did do 18 damage. He's gonna roll another one. That is either a 19 or a 25 to hit. And this one is going to deal 11 piercing damage.
Not a bad turn. 15 and 11, right?
Not terrible, not terrible. And he'll just kind of end his turn right there. And that will bring us to the next person, who is Melly. Melly, it is your turn.
Okay. Melly's gonna run 5, 10, 15, 20. Is that spot difficult terrain, or is it okay because it's under the tree?
It's under the tree. It's okay.
25, 30.
Also, this super cool map is brought to you by Matt.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Beautiful. So we're gonna twin healing word, and we're gonna hit Carrick and Echo at 3rd level.
All right. What you got?
3d4. Not rolling that one. That one betrayed me before. We're just gonna roll this one 3 times over. Here we go. Come on, buddy. Okay. 7, 11, 13 points of healing to both of them.
Okay. Very nice. As Echo comes back to life, restrained by these nasty, frigid claws.
Right. So that was my bonus action. I'm gonna go ahead and do Sacred Flame, because oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah, Sacred Flame. So I mean, it's a dragon, so he's probably pretty good at dexterity saves, but please have him roll a dexterity save.
Have the dragon roll a dex save? All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Evan, is this going to be rolled with disadvantage?
Is it going to be rolled with disadvantage?
I'm not sure the total. So it's just attacks made against.
Attacks made against the creature have advantage.
Okay. All right. So this is just going to be a regular roll then. That is a 19. That's a 24.
Okay, yep, he definitely saves against that. But yeah. Okay. That ends my turn.
Still a great move.
Going that hard.
All right. So Melly, that's your turn?
That is all that Melly can do.
Awesome. Excellent turn. Vael, it is on you, my friend.
Okay. I think from Vael's point of view, when this thing did its breath weapon, one of the few spells that Vael avails that hasn't changed as much. So it's like as the breath weapon came up, almost like this silvery, what would look like a sphere or half sphere would kind of encase around him, but just there's like holes kind of in it. So he's just like, as it's like flying through, and he just kind of sees Echo go down. He sees Carrick charge in for the shot. He sees Melly charge in, cast a spell. I highly doubt he can tell that Echo is.
Oh, wait a second.
He's still kind of around. But he just immediately would just kind of go, "Argh!" And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so like the tiniest sliver of the dragon circle is in range. Does that count for his Hexblade's curse? It's got a 30-foot range if he wanted to use that. How do you feel about that?
Odd it counts, even it doesn't count.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
Roll a die.
Okay. I'm not gonna roll a 20. It's a 6. Okay. Doesn't count. So Vael then is going to use a first level spell slot to take the Fire Ruby and cast Chromatic Charge. He is going to take the Dragon Slaying Arrow out, and as he's lining up his shot, he says, "Ice, death, I don't care what your name is. Attack my friend, and you've sealed your fate." And he fires. Okay.
All right, roll your attack with advantage.
Echo gives him advantage. Okay. Dragon Slaying Arrow. Okay. 16 plus 10 is a 26. Pretty sure that's going to hit.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay. Oh, and okay, so he gets a bunch here. All right, so 15 of it fire damage. That was good. It's 8 and a 7 there. 4 necrotic.
I am a newbie here, and I have no clue what an arrow of slaying actually does. Do you mind explaining it just for a moment?
We'll get there in a second. He rolled a 1 on his damage, but he with his piercer feat he can re-roll that one, so he's gonna re-roll that. And it's an 8, so that's good.
So 15, 8.
15, 4, and 13. So that's 28 plus 4 is 32 points of total damage on that shot. Then for the Dragon Slaying Arrow, he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 17?
A con save?
Yep. DC 17 con.
That's 23.
So yep,
It's a saving throw, right?
Yes, it's a con save.
Okay.
All right, he's going to take half damage, but he would have taken 6d10 extra piercing damage from this.
Because it's the arrow of slaying.
Yes, but I'm still rolling all 6, and I'm gonna half it just because I want to roll 6 dice. Well, that was kind of awful. Okay. That's 17 halved to 8. Yikes. That was a 9, and then everything else was a 1 or a 2.
Okay, so for a total of 40 damage.
40 damage in that shot, yes.
Okay, I mean, don't be upset about that. That's
No, that's a good.
significant.
That's yeah. That's still
And that's
good.
your first attack.
First attack. Here comes the second attack.
Okay.
9 plus 10 is 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Did you roll with advantage on that, by the way?
I did, yeah. I rolled a 9 and a 7.
Okay.
6 necrotic and 9 piercing, so that's another 15.
Okay.
And frankly, if ever there's a time to action surge, now is it. So he's going to use his action surge. And he's going to take attack action again. Okay. Natural 20! Come on!
Let's go. Let's go. All right.
Okay. So we're going to double the hex damage. And the piercer gets 2 extra dice. Okay. All right, so that's 10 plus 5, so it's 15 more piercing and 5 more necrotics. That's 20 more damage on that.
Okay.
Okay. And here comes the last arrow. Obviously, it's a regular arrow here. Here we go. Double 11s for a total of 21 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
All right, that's not as great. That's that's 7 piercing and 3 necrotic, so another 10.
Okay. That's still very good.
It's 85 damage on that turn. All right. Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, he's not stopping other than in attack mode right now. That's it. He's almost like running and firing as he's doing this.
Awesome.
But that's it. He's used everything.
Okay. All right. So turn is complete. Okay.
Yes, that's official.
All right. I don't think I used this. No, I definitely didn't. So that's okay. So the dragon is going to take his legendary action of his wing attack right now. In which every creature within 10 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 19 dexterity saving throw. DC 18 dexterity saving throw. Or take some damage and be knocked prone. There's only one creature within 10 feet of the dragon. So, what are the rules for restrained anyway?
Disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay, so roll your dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, good sir.
Okay.
Come on, Echo.
All right. That's an 18.
It's an 18.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
That just saves. All right.
I also have evasion, which means I take no damage from this.
There you go. So, Echo takes no damage, as it almost seems like it being in the claw of the dragon is kind of protecting him a little bit from this attack as well. And the dragon, after all that freaking damage, is just gonna say,
I grow tired of this.
and he will begin to fly, as the second half of a wing attack allows him to fly up to half of its speed, half of its flying speed. So he will go up. We'll say he'll go up 30 feet and then go diagonal 10. I think that's right. I think. So, with the dragon now flying, Echo in his claw, going through the air, that brings us to Mac's turn. Mac, you got some distance in here. What would you like to do? And I would like to remind you, you do have an ally within 5 feet of the dragon.
Yes. And distance is not a problem for Mac. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash. 2, 3, 4. All right. As I'm running towards the dragon, how does the dragon look?
He's like, as you take a moment just to survey the situation, right? you see that he's starting to look pretty beat up. He has this like big like slash in his wing. There's a huge raw cut on his face. This arrow that there's just this like pulsating like kind of purple glow coming from, which is probably the dragon arrow that came from Vael. It's hard to say like exactly which one it would be, but there's an arrow that there's just kind of this purple hue just pulsating from, and he looks hurt. He looks hurt for sure.
All right. Well,
I don't know if I'd say he's on death's door, but he's not in a great place.
I'm gonna take aim at him with my short bow.
Okay.
That is, I wish I critted on 19s. That's a 25 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did. It was a 19 and 11.
Okay. Well, roll your damage and don't forget to include that sneak attack damage.
That is 15 piercing damage.
15 piercing damage. All right. Yeah, I mean, he's hurting for certain. So.
And then I'm going to move a little bit further, and I am going to stop right there. And that is
Okay.
where I'll end my turn.
All right. Okay. So that brings us to the top of initiative, which is Echo. Echo, you are currently restrained, and I'll just remind chat what that means. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. What is it? Jake, it's a strength check to get out of that.
To get well, for Echo, he could do either acrobatics or athletics,
You're right.
but I think it's just athletics for the holder.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I have a question regarding that.
Sure.
The creature's attacks have disadvantage. However, attacks against the dragon have advantage until the end of my current turn. How does that resolve? Do they negate where it's just a standard roll?
Yeah, I'd say it's just a standard roll.
Okay. Because I think in the middle of that, as the dragon goes to fly, Echo just and just almost in a panic just starts laying into this, just like kicking at the claw. Like he doesn't even, his first instinct is not, I'm going to try to break out or slip out of this. He's just like laying into him. And I would say I'm going to make a decision that's not a good one, but it makes sense for the character, which is that he's not going to be using his staff for his normal attacks, because that's not what he, like, it's like a 10-foot staff. Like, he might still have it, you know, but he's just like kicking, just going at him as hard as he can. So I'm going to try to attack this dragon.
All right.
Okay, that's an 18.
An 18 just hits.
Yes. Okay. All right. That is, it's a +5, right? Yes, +5. That is 10 magical bludgeoning. I'll make a second attack. That's another 18. Oh, sorry, 19. It's a plus. That's right. So that's 9 magical bludgeoning. I'm going to spend a key point to do a flurry of blows.
Okay. So 9 so far, and now
Yes.
flurry of blows. Okay.
Yes, it was the first attack was 10, then 9, and now we've got 2 more attacks.
Okay, so you've done 19 damage so far.
Yes, 19 damage. The first flurry of blows attack is a 15 plus 8 for 23.
That's a hit.
I would like him to make a dexterity saving throw while I deal the damage here, which is 9 magical bludgeoning.
Let me just get. There's so many tabs today. Okay, that is a 17.
17 passes.
Okay.
I would also like him to make a Constitution saving throw
Okay.
by spending a key
Lord.
point to do a stunning strike.
Okay, that one is a 19.
Okay, also passes. Ah, God. That's a crit.
Oh man, Evan, if you have the hip hop horn, just play it for me. I know you have it.
I don't have it ready.
Oh, never mind. Don't
beans.
do it. No, it's
Okay.
fine. Oh,
Sorry.
blew it.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you do, it's about to be with freaking double damage. So
Yep. I would also like him to make another dexterity saving throw and another Constitution saving throw.
okay.
So that's 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 5 is 15. So it's 15 magical bludgeoning damage. And let's see what those 2 saves came out to be.
Let's see. So you said another dex and then another con.
A dex and a con.
All right, the dex is a 24. The con is a 16.
Okay. Unfortunately, he passes.
Okay. And what was the damage?
15.
15. Okay. All right. This dragon is starting to get worried. Let's see. Math. Okay. Perfect. Let's see.
You are an ant.
Is that your whole turn?
Do I get crushed if I say it is? Yeah, that's it. That's the end of his
That's
turn. There's nothing
Okay.
else he can do.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, the homeboy is going to take his turn now, and he will. Well, first he's gonna roll a die to find out something. Don't worry, he rolled poorly. He is going to fly. He's already what, 20? Did I say 20 feet or 30 feet in the air? 30? Okay. He is going to fly his full movement straight up into the air.
You are an ant, and I will crush you as such. Enjoy the fall.
And The dragon is just gonna fly 80 feet straight up into the air and let go. As Echo is now plummeting 110 feet, if I mathed correctly.
You did.
So, okay. Which is 11d6 bludgeoning damage, unless you have an ability that negates it.
It won't negate it entirely. It'll reduce
Okay.
it.
All right.
I won't tell you how
So-
much until you tell me how much it is.
Okay. How do you want to do this? A lot of the time with falling damage, I'm a jerk and I like to let players roll it. So would you like to roll it, or would you like me to roll it?
No, I would say it's fair. This is the dragon. I
Okay.
would say the dragon did this. I would prefer that the DM roll these numbers.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. So for the first 6 dice, we have 10, 21, 22, 23, 23, and now another 5d6. 30, 34, 38 bludgeoning damage as the Echo just is falling and falling.
Here's what happens. Echo is falling, and serious panic hits when he realizes, like, the claw opens, and I think he sees the ground under him and has this moment of like, oh gods, and he's falling, and as he's coming closer and closer to the ground, and he kind of sees like the rest of the group a little bit through the cold winds, he takes a deep breath and centers himself and does a couple of quick somatic motions, and with both hands pushes toward the ground when he's about 30 feet off the ground, and a bright golden white burst of ki shoots from his hands, slowing his fall, but he hits the ground hard. I reduced the damage by 35.
Wow. Okay. So just three bludgeoning damage then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's still, I would say he hits the ground with it's not graceful. It's not like he rolls out of it. Like you see that, and he just like, and maybe bounces and, you know, rolls a little bit down an incline, but he takes 3 bludgeoning damage.
All right. Okay. All right. So having moved his full movement and really seeing that fall, the dragon will look to you all and
You're not worth my time. You're not worth my breath. Have fun. Patching together what's left of your friend.
and he will just begin to fly northeast.
Can I
And,
do a thing? Say a thing? Not like an action thing.
Yeah, I think you've earned it.
think, yeah. I think Echo is beat red. Like, I don't think you've ever seen him like this. His hair is undone now. Like it's hanging down. It's about shoulder length curly hair. And he pushes it back up over his head as he stands. He pushes his head up off the ground. Hearing the dragon say this, you see the breath, like he's breathing heavy, like he's got that adrenaline breath right now. And he spins up to the sky and says, "You're going to have to try harder than that, coward!" Just like death rattle kind of scream. Like the words forced themselves screaming and clawing out of his lungs.
All right. Okay. Well, Isla, if she wants to do anything, otherwise, Carrick.
Isla will not do anything. Go ahead, Carrick.
Okay. Let's see.
Or actually, no, she fluffs her feathers and gives a whoo when Echo says that. That's about it.
Carrick will rush over to Echo, shocked that he's alive, with like a complete wonder on his face, and he will hit Echo with a 2nd level cure wounds. And Echo's gonna heal 12 more HP. And he'll just say, "You're not finished yet, brother." And he'll actually use the rest of his movement. I mean, if you could drag someone using like a double movement, I think you could help someone up using some of your movement. Is that fair?
I would agree
like
with that at my table for sure.
Okay, so he will run up to you, to Echo, heal him for 12 points of damage, and help him back up onto his feet so that he is able to not have to waste half of his movement if initiative takes us to his turn again. And with that, that'll bring us to Melly.
Jeez. Everyone's so far away. All right. I'm not even thinking about the dragon. First thing I want to do is we're gonna move a little closer. I'm assuming I have to go around the thing that's in front of me.
Yeah, you would have to kind of go around that.
All right, so 5, 10, 15. 20. Oops. 25. 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Is Mac in range? I don't know if we're going after the dragon, but
Mac in range for what? Like how?
Is he within like 30 feet?
He's like not really. He's like just out.
Okay. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is another healing word. Let me just see if I have enough. This, I don't. Okay, so we're gonna healing word Echo. And sorry. A lot of clicking on my part.
We don't hear it. You're all good.
Oh, Okay, awesome. We're gonna do that at second level. 2d4. Rolling this one again. Okay. All right, so it's 9 more points of healing. And then... oh man. How far away is the dragon at the moment?
I mean, it's 80 feet straight up in the air, and then also, like...
Okay, so he's completely out of range for anything Melee could have potentially done.
I hate to be that guy, but he's 110 in the air. Unless you
yes,
said he went
you're
low.
right. No, you're
Love
right.
if he went
He's
lower,
100.
but he didn't.
All right, well, that's just ridiculous. Okay, I think that's everything Melee's gonna do for now. The end.
Okay. That brings us to Vael.
Okay, how far away he is actually is relevant for Vael, because his short range is 150 on the longbow.
I mean, current distance,
I am gonna truck it to get closer, but this is what Vael would do, so I'll just do it. What?
Yeah, well...
1, 2. Is this difficult terrain or just kind of whatever?
It's just kind of whatever. That's fine. I think I originally intended it to be difficult terrain, but...
Appreciate it. 5, 6. How far would he be here? Because this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 50 roughly to him, and then 110 in the air. I think that's out of the 150 range.
That's probably like I'd say 160, right?
Yeah.
Unless we're actually gonna do the
You're
Pythagorean
fine.
theorem.
No, you're good. Math is hard sometimes and not necessary. As long as he knows he would have a harder time, he's going to use his bonus action to Misty Step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, I think he's now within 150.
Yeah, absolutely.
4. Yeah, okay. And he's going to take out his bow and do his deal with advantage. Thank you to Echo.
Still advantage. Oh yes,
He got another crit. He got another crit.
Very nice. I forgot about that.
Come on, baby, hold together. One was a 1, but the other was a 17 for a 27.
Okay,
So
that's a hit.
Okay. Max damage. Ooh. 8 plus 5 is 13 piercing and 6 necrotic. So it's 19 more.
Okay.
Okay, and out comes his second shot. Okay, come on. All right, 12 plus 10 is 22.
That is a hit.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, so that's, well, not quite max, but that's max on the piercing. So that's 13 more piercing and 2 more necrotic, so 15 more damage.
All right. You said 15 more damage?
Yeah, 19 and then 15.
19 and 15. How would you like to do this, Jake?
Oh, come on! Okay. Vael just sees what happens. He sees what's going on, and he just starts taking off. He's taking off, and as he's running, he takes out one arrow. He runs his full thing, and then looks like he's lining up his shot, but if you're paying attention, he looks like he's aiming wrong. But he Misty Steps to the next spot, and it's perfect. And he shoots, hits, and takes out the next one, and he just says, "You're not getting away!" and just fires, and and I think kind of right up in the jugular where I imagine Echo dented a scale. Oh, like very, very barred from The Hobbit. Just and it just, and I think he just starts to fall. But you describe that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So as your arrow smacks right into this weak spot that Echo had created, you see it just go right through, and just this blackish, like almost like purpley looking blood just starts to spray out of it, and
and
the dragon just begins to plummet, and it just you see it like it takes a curve and just starts to flip wing over wing, and just until 110 feet, until it smashes into the ground, and there's just a loud like when this massive thing finally hits the ground, leaving like some snow like just up in the air and everything, and you see that it's now dead on the ground. You did the thing. He's not moving.
I think Vael is kind of standing there slightly in disbelief. Breathing heavily. And after like a good 6 to 10 seconds, he's just turns and looks to see what everyone else is looking like.
All right. So everyone, you watch this. You watch this happen. You see the dragon fall from the sky, breaking into that tree right below it. By the way, snapping branches on the way down, and
it's close enough to me that I could have checked it out to see it's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's like you see it pretty much where it is. It's like that's where it fell.
Okay,
we'll say.
He probably would He probably would really just be like another arrow. Like okay, like, like I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think Echo would have stood there for a few seconds, but he's looking crazy. Like his eyes are almost look like black, like when someone's like so mad that like their brow is he's just breathing super heavy, and he started out trying to like run toward where the dragon was, but he's winded. But I think he would put his staff into his hand and start walking over to where it was, just as though he's just walking toward it.
Okay. Sure. Anyone else?
Mac would kind of like jog a little bit faster to catch up to Echo, and then kind of just like match his steps as he's like going to go check out the dragon.
Okay. I'd say Carrick probably with like a look of like amazement in his eyes that his brother just did that. Or just really took the final blow. Everyone did that, but he will follow suit and just follow towards the dragon behind you guys. Does Melly, do you also just kind of follow or what's up?
Melly will look around first, like survey the area, and also pay close attention to how everyone's like walking. She can tell if anyone looks like particularly in pain? Does anyone look like they're particularly in pain?
I think a lot of people look like they're pretty hurt.
Mac looks like he just woke up this morning.
Mac woke up like this.
Fine.
Mac woke up like this. Yeah.
Woke up like this.
Vael
That's
actually
great.
he actually just looks like a little worn based on health wise. He's not too bad.
Okay, so I guess really just Carrick and Echo both look a little messed up. But
Echo looks more crazy than hurt. Like I think by this point you kind of know his body language a bit, and you haven't seen him like this since the first time that you guys fought those bandits in Shady Creek Run, where it was just rage. So that would probably be what you would catch from him.
Okay. And I think while everybody thinks on that for a moment, let's take a pee break because it's actually we've been at this for a little bit. Normally we would have taken a break already. So we will do that thing, and guys, they just killed freaking dragon. That's crazy. If you have any questions about anything, or just you want to shout anything out, whatever, just drop it in chat. We're just gonna be right back. We're taking a quick break, and we'll see you all in, like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Well, let me ask you this, friends. You killed the dragon. You decide. Do we want to go back to Bethesda?
Oh, I'm fine with whatever you'd like.
Okay. All right. Well then, let's get back to it. So you have just killed a freaking dragon. This thing has, as you get closer to it, you see that the arrow from really the first, like, really nice one that Vael hit it with, that dragon slaying arrow, there's like purple that just stretches out all through it, like, I mean, almost like it's infected already. It has pieces of tree that have kind of impaled into it and messed it up at this point, and it's just on the ground, dead.
Echo,
What-
are
what-
you okay?
Who was that question directed towards?
I'm sorry. I said Echo. I don't know if Discord cut
Okay,
it off.
I didn't hear.
It did.
Okay, you guys kind of talk.
Yeah.
He's staring directly at the dragon and walking toward it like he didn't even hear you. He's breathing very heavily.
Vael just like looks at everybody else like he's a little slow to. Just kind of nods at everyone once it's clear they're alive. Well, so that happened.
Good job, little brother. It's an excellent shot.
At little Vael just kind of rolls his eyes. Yes, it was. I don't know. Something sort of just. It was just focus. Once Echo went up in the air, I just couldn't let it get away. I don't know what to say. I think Vael's just looking at Echo. I think he starts to like move a little towards him, like maybe within 5 feet, but not like too much in the personal space.
Would Echo have reached the dragon by now?
Oh yeah.
he just starts smashing into this dragon with the staff, and like death rattle screaming. Just, I'm not gonna do it again because I screamed very loud and I listened back to it. I was like, ooh, that peaked a lot. But just screaming and hitting this thing in the head. Probably does it like, I would say like a good 5 or 6 times before the hits start like slowing down. Like it's clear that he's getting tired. And as he's doing it, the rage screams start becoming like he's crying. And if you could see him, there's like tears flowing down his face as he's doing it.
Mac was kind of like keeping pace with you as you were going. And as you're kind of doing that, he kind of just like takes a little bit of like a half a step back, just kind of like give space but not go away. And actually just kind of like nods approvingly, like, been there. And then like as it slows down and like Mac, or he sees that the tears start to come, he just kind of puts his hand on his shoulder.
I think once the hand hits his shoulder, he might get like one more hit in, and then he just like drops to his knees, and is just like openly crying for a few seconds.
Melly's gonna walk over and she's gonna kneel beside him, like sitting down, and she's also gonna put her hand on his shoulder and kind of just like be there with him and not say anything while he's processing everything.
Yeah. There's no space next to Echo anymore, but Vael would just kind of be nearby, and I think he would just say, Echo, I don't even have words. Thank you. That was... I've never seen anyone able to do that before.
That was perhaps the bravest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You get used to it with this one.
I'm starting to see that.
Wish I had a dump noodle right now. I think you've earned one, don't you think?
I think once you say the word Dampf Noodle,
That's like a really silly smile, like he doesn't, like he makes jokes when he's uncomfortable, kind of a thing.
once you say that exact thing, I wish I had a Dampf Noodle right now. The in the sobbing, you hear just a you idiot.
I know.
He might need to wash his hands first.
Well, cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say.
I think that was the stupidest thing I have done or will ever do. And I will never stop regretting it. But
Don't underestimate yourself. I'm sure you'll do plenty of stupid things. You're traveling with me.
our time together is young. I think you're right.
Battles, there's not always smart or stupid. There's wins or loses.
I'm sorry I ran off. I saw the dragon lift its wings and had a feeling that if I didn't get to it, we may not have been able to.
You distracting it the way you did enabled us to take it down. There's no way we would have been able to without that.
I think at this point he stands himself up off the ground. I would say before he does so, if either of the two still have a hand on his shoulder, he like kind of one at a time just like grab their hand and look at him for a moment and just kind of like give him a smile. He'd stand up and wipe his nose, wipe his face, and start tying his hair back up. Well, if there's one thing that can be said about everything that just happened, it's that we killed a dragon!
We did. We did.
How far away are you from me, Vael? Just are you like within I just like really relatively close?
Yeah, I would say if you and Melly are kind of on either side of him, I'm within 5 to 10 feet, depending on just how that played out.
I would just take like a few steps like towards you, reach into my pocket, and just kind of like in a smooth motion, flick a gold coin towards you, and say, "We may have not had a bet, but you won," and just kind of nodded.
He catches it almost very unexpected. He didn't. It's like, oh.
Nice shots. I haven't seen bow work like that, honestly, ever.
Thank you. He just looks over at Melly and is just like, I felt some divine aid as usual. On things. It's happening. But you had some nice shots too. And so did you, brother. Everybody. Echo, did you... You were punching a dragon up there. I only hit a hole that you started. Oh, I think it was you. And he's like looking at a slash mark and he's kind of like... Was this thing...
Oh, I don't think that was me. And he says that holding up his fists, which are not bladed in any way.
Yeah.
I think...
I don't know about those toenails, though.
Echo looks down at his toenails, which are beautifully manicured.
Being out in the wild is no excuse to not be groomed. Of course. Wow. Okay.
Oh god. All right.
Echo did. I just wanted to recap. Echo did notice that or who was it that noticed that the dragon was already damaged? Was it Echo? It was Echo, right?
Echo did notice that, yeah, while you were on top of him flying the first time.
The slashing could not have been any of us.
No.
Don't the giants tend toward axes, mauls, larger types of weapons? I think it's possible that the Jarl's... What was his name? Bjorn?
Ragnar.
I mean, his son.
Yes, that's correct. wonder. Oh dear. These wounds are probably fresh. Maybe we. And he just kind of looks over in Isla's direction and telepathically tells Isla to just search the area and try to maybe find. Head the direction that the dragon was. Maybe we could find him. I don't know if he needs help.
Roll a survival for Isla, which should just be wisdom. Unless is Isla better at wisdom or investigate or intelligence?
Definitely wisdom. She's an owl. Owla. Okay. That's not too bad. That's 15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we'll say it probably takes her like a solid. It's like several minutes of her flying around. And she sees she just sees it flashes this image in your head of just red around an area in the snow and a large axe kind of peeking up out of the area.
Yeah, Vael's gonna just tell everybody and start heading towards where Isla found this.
Okay.
I think he's gonna use his second wind though.
Just as a
Fair.
side thing in the interim,
I rolled a 1.
once Echo gets his hair tied up, he goes over to Melly and gives her a huge hug.
Melly actually didn't get up from where she was kneeling.
Okay.
So, like, they hug, and they're actually at, like, equal heights.
Aw.
And she, like, hugs him tight, like, really, like, almost like, okay, Melly, like, yes, I'm alive. You're gonna kill me, though, if you keep... Like, it's a solid hug.
He is the
Yeah, I would
strongest
say
one in the group.
Echo does reciprocate it for like the first little bit, and then it like tightens a little too far, and he's just kind of like, okay. But no, he just says, with nothing else, he just says, "Thank you."
All right. So, as you follow Isla's direction, you are taken to it's a bit of a journey. I mean, anything in this area kind of takes time, so it probably takes you a solid like 20 minutes to a half hour to get to where you think she was pointing to. And you see an axe with the blade of it is just kind of broken, like it met an unstoppable force or something, and was just it's broken beyond repair, and there's just blood all over the snow, and you see that it kind of trails off toward a nearby cave. And
Does it look like the axe could fit into, like, could Melly strap it to her back? Is it too big for her to carry? Could she pick it up, or is it too much?
why don't you roll a strength check for Melly?
I can certainly do that. Oh god, I dropped it. Okay, hold on. Let me pick a different die now. Okay, that's terrible. Let's see. Strength. It is here. That's a 8.
That's an 8?
Yep.
Yeah, this thing's like, it's a thick boy. It's a really, really big axe. Like, it's a great axe, but for someone who's 20 plus feet tall, so it's a little too heavy. Like, you could kind of like, you get like some of it off the ground, and then you try to get the other half, and just kind of like, it's just a little bit too heavy.
If Vael gave her a hand, could she move it?
Sure. Yeah, I'd say no check necessary. If somebody was helping you do that, then yeah, you could move it.
What do you want to do with this thing?
Maybe move it into where he is, so that way he can rest with his weapon.
But we haven't found a body yet, have we, Josh?
Not yet.
We should probably confirm if he's dead or alive.
Just out of curiosity, does this? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Does this cave look like it's big enough to possibly be the dragon's lair, or does it seem a little smaller than that?
It's well, the mouth of it, I mean, maybe a dragon would be able to fit inside of it, but you haven't really walked into the cave yet, so you don't really know what the size is inside of it. But
Okay. I think we should probably start heading in that direction to go check it out. I would take the lead on it.
Depending on what Melly does, I mean, Bella, if he's holding this and he sees Matt going, he's like, He's like, what are we doing with this thing?
Okay, yes, we'll set it down, and hopefully it won't need to be laid with him.
Agreed.
And Melly will quickly follow on Mac's heels, keeping an eye on Carrick and Echo, because she knows both of them were hurt pretty bad.
Like, it would be I would be moving at like a semi-casual pace. I wouldn't be like taking off towards the cave or anything. It would be a pace meant for everyone to like follow along, just with me taking the lead.
sure.
Yeah, Vael would fall in next to Melly.
And as you, by the way, just as you get closer to this area, you notice there's like a little bit of fog in the air, and it's kind of like a cold. It's a chilly fog, and every once in a while there's just some snow flurries that have kind of come through.
Does this seem natural?
Roll nature.
That is a nat 20 for a 24.
You have heard stories of the area within a certain distance from a white dragon's lair, it changing the landscape around it itself, adding fog and precipitation and even some ice walls here and there. So you would know that while you might not necessarily be in the lair right now, you are close.
These are some signs of the lair being close, so there is a good chance this may be the cave.
Does
Vael
the
would just
blood
give you a
trail?
nod.
Does the blood trail continue in? Does it look like it stops before we go further in, or?
I think you're cutting up. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, you are cutting out a little bit, but the blood trail looks like it does continue on into it just a bit. I mean, as you get, like, you're just walking into it, right? Is there any I don't know. You going for it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And is it like, does it appear to be like really dark inside? Or is it
There's light coming in
Okay.
because it's like middle of the day at this point. So there's
Okay.
light coming through and shining into the cave, and you see pretty close to the mouth of the cave, the trail leads to this massive giant with this bluish hue to its skin and just blood. Like there's the trail, but then there's just a pool of blood where it's sitting. I mean, I don't want to go too obnoxious with the details, but it looks like it's been bit, slashed, and just really messed up. And you see that this giant just holds a hand right here above his chest, his head back, doesn't seem to be breathing or anything, and just at rest.
Can Melly do a medicine check to see how long he's been dead for? If he's dead. I'm assuming he's dead based off of what you said.
Sure, Melly could do a medicine check.
Okay. Let's try not throw it this time.
And I would assist her. So
Okay.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you
no
would roll
problem.
that with advantage.
So advantage?
Sure.
Alright, why not? Here. Okay. 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been at least like the better part of a day, if not longer than that.
Well, unfortunately, there's not anything that we can do to help him.
Now, as of respectful way as I could, I would crawl up to his hand, because I mean, he is pretty big and I'm pretty short. And kind of just like, because I would assume that that's where the medallion that they were looking would probably be. And I would see if it was in his hands, and if I would try to take it out without doing any damage.
Yeah, as the hand is really like closed tight, and as you kind of just push the fingers open and make it out, you do see the medallion in his hand. That's what he was holding on to. It's got kind of this silver platinum like color to it, with the image of Remoraz kind of etched into it, and it gives off this this just kind of faint blue light.
All right, and so now just like, I don't know if I actually have to like take it over his head or whatnot, but I'll go ahead and bring it down to the group. Wait, I'm muted?
No, I could hear you.
Oh.
I can.
And just kind of like, I think this is what the y'all was looking for.
Yes. Do you want to put it in the bag of holding for now?
Yeah, we can keep it safe.
I would like to bring his weapon to him. I know there's a lot that we have to do before we return to the Frost Giants, but I think that is kind of important.
Josh, would it make sense to leave the weapon with him based on their culture, or to bring the weapon back to his father?
It would make sense to leave the weapon with him.
Yeah.
Based on the conversation you had, or that Melly had at least, it seemed like, aside from bringing the amulet or medallion back, he also wanted to know where the body was so that they could do what they do with it.
Yeah.
Obviously not expecting the 5 of you to carry I don't even know what, like 4,000 pounds
Yeah.
giant.
Big boy. And it looks like the cave continues. Because he just like a part of it, or is it?
He's at the beginning of it. It does look like the cave continues.
I think Vael with furrowed brow would just look at Max since he mentioned the ice effect thing. Do you think if we continue, that's where Leia could be?
Especially seeing the giant here, it makes me feel like yes.
We should investigate, I think.
Definitely, I agree.
Assuming everyone's up to it. He just looks at Echo and Carrick. And how's Melly looking?
She's tired. And she's definitely got like, looks like maybe like the tip of her nose is like a little too blue. Maybe the tips of her ears too, and she's got like ice in her hair.
We could always take a moment, too. See no reason why we would have to be quick about things right now. I feel like Vael's looking at you, and the look is like, you know what we talked about. Like, he's looking at you.
Yeah. A rest would probably be a good idea. So maybe just a short rest, and then we can do what needs to be done. I know investigating is very important. I just also don't know if a lack of a dragon will draw attention and people to this area.
That would be very fast-traveling news.
And we did get the blessing of the Frost Giants. Perhaps they'd, I don't know, lend some aid in that. It is their territory.
How far away are we from them? If I were to send Isla with maybe directions or something like that, would that take a long time to get to them? Like with the message?
It'd be pretty far, but
Vael just looks at Mac and just says, we could always take a look ahead while you rest.
And if this is too much knowledge, feel free to let me know, Josh. But do dragons ever really like have companions or other associates? Like, is that a common thing, or are they almost always like completely loners? Or would I know any of that at all?
I would say roll like history.
Where were these rolls when I was fighting? That is another net 20 for a 21. Like seriously.
All right, so some dragons will have like a whole cult or following and behind them, and like a whole like really big, like a very big entourage. We'll say, white dragons are kind of known for being loners, primal hunters, and they kind of just like to cause trouble. Not as many like nefarious grandmaster plans as say like where the red dragons you've heard they like to control things from beyond and hatch all sorts of plots and stuff with allies, where white dragons kind of just they're more of a force of nature.
White dragons do tend to be notorious loners. I mean, there really shouldn't be anything else in this cave. But it is still a dragon's lair. It probably would be best to stick together. What time of day is it?
That's probably like late afternoon, mid-afternoon, probably late afternoon, I'd say. Something like that.
Why don't we just like take an hour or two to kind of just gather ourselves back together and then go explore?
I agree.
All right, so we're doing short rest.
I'm doing it.
Okay, so if you would like to roll hit dice, everyone is welcome to do so.
D&D Beyond does it now. If you want, I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna roll on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, because I guess that's how I would do it with the keeping track of the hit dice.
Well, fine.
Imagine not taking damage and not needing to roll it. I still can't believe I went through the whole fight and didn't take any damage. Out of all the fights that I've gone down and taken so much damage.
Alright, so it didn't roll for me, so I'm gonna roll that now.
7. Yeah, Carrick was able to get 27 hit points back.
Got 9
Yeah, I
back.
used 3 hit dice to get back to full.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could use like another hit die, but we'll leave it at that.
Do you get your key back on a short rest?
Yes, I do. Monk is a short rest class. And nobody ever does short rests, which is why this is a wonderful change of pace for me as a player.
Okay. Melly, are you rolling any hit dice?
Yes. Melly is rolling hit dice. She rolled pretty darn good.
What'd you get?
16. It's pretty
16.
good. Yeah, pretty
Nice.
good in my book.
Very nice. Very nice.
So while we're taking that rest, I'm gonna kind of go up to Echo. I've been there in those moments. And if and ever you want to talk, I am around. But I also understand if you're still processing.
I appreciate that, Mac. It's weird to say, but I don't think I've ever actually been hurt so much so quickly before. I tend to be able to get out of the way, but with that thing's breath, it was everywhere. And I just felt myself slip away. I've never been more angry and had it focused so much at one thing before. But I think I'll be okay. And I'll take you up on that, my friend.
I know I've had a few moments of that recently myself.
I remember seeing you have those moments and thinking that I don't think I could ever do that. So, interesting to be proven wrong about it.
Well, and sometimes something may seem reckless and even a little bit crazy, but sometimes it is what you need. And when you're sitting back and looking at it, it's easy to go, oh, that was dangerous. But in the moment, that's what needed to happen. Sorry you had to go through it, but we couldn't have done that without you.
The danger wasn't even a factor to me. I just knew that it felt like we wouldn't have another chance. That thing was fast. And in that instance, I had a feeling I was going to be the only one fast enough to get to it.
No, well, you're 100% there, because as rough as that fight was, from the stories, you don't want to face a dragon in its home. And its lair is brutal, so it is good that we were able to take it out where and when we did. Because it would have gotten really nasty if we had to try to fight it in here.
Well, and, not for nothing, but looking at him, and, he gestures towards the giant. I'm glad he dropped me from 100 feet in the air.
Can we talk about that move for a minute? Oh my gosh, what was that? I thought you were just about to just, and then the next thing I know, you're just like, whoosh. And then I mean, you still kind of hit a little hard, but I mean, I expected pieces to fly. I'm not gonna lie.
So did I. It's something I read about. Another monk had learned how to channel their ki in a way that could project it as a force. And I'd been able to do it to, knock over chess pieces or something, and nothing too crazy, but I didn't know what else to do. So when I fell the first time, I just put everything in me to try to slow it down, and it was enough to stop me from getting hurt. But from that high, when it dropped me again, I just put everything I had into it. It obviously wasn't quite enough, but I could have been dead, so...
I've seen people die from falls half that height, so the fact that you survived is insane enough as it is. But that was amazing.
You all are amazing. It was stupid what I did.
No.
And if we weren't all doing what we had done with Melly healing me, and I went into... I don't know how to describe it, but my focus was pure on this dragon, unrelenting. And if you all hadn't done what you had done, I would be there. And he just gestures over to the giant. And I think as he's saying that, he probably, if I assume that Mac and Echo were probably talking like kind of privately, like a little quietly, but I think he would have raised his voice at that point just to like make it clear that he's like telling everyone like I would be right here torn apart if everyone hadn't come to his aid.
No. It wasn't crazy or stupid. It was faith in us. You knew that if you did what you had to do, that we would be there to back you up. It's not being stupid. That's knowing that we're there.
He's right,
Echo, like, when you said it was faith, he takes a step back, almost like you had pushed him physically. Like, that really, like, hit him pretty hard. That's what we have. I love you all. Deeply.
Vael smiles warmly.
And that is returned right back to you. And Max kind of just nods like as he says that.
Echo reciprocates.
Melly hugs Echo again.
He returns that too.
Vael's just standing a few feet away from that hug. He just says, "It's amazing how bold you can be when you know you've got friends that have your back. Isn't it? Because you did nothing short of save the day today."
It's funny you say that. I think sometimes it feels like it can be easy to have faith in a higher power. It can be hard to have faith in people. And I think it's a beautiful thing that we found that with each other.
Vael nods and he just kind of like out of the corner of his eye is like, what the heck is Carrick doing right now?
I was just kind of thinking about that. Oh,
He's like one of those like
Did
paddle
you
ball
actually
games.
say that, or did you? Are you just like looking?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's what he's thinking. He's just like one of those. Like,
yeah. I mean, Carrick is kind of like. There's a little bit of like, if you were to look at him, which it sounds like Vael is, there's a little bit of like awkward. I probably shouldn't be here for this like moment, or like I'm not a part of this. And then there's also, aside from that, there is like a like a joy that you could see on his face, to see like to see people that you're so that his brother is so close with, speaking in this type of way, especially from what he knows about you and his perception of you.
I think Vael gives kind of an he gives a smile, like there's a, for anyone that would pick up on it, it just feels like he's not used to being this vulnerable with Carrick on this level. But there's like an awkward smile, like a and he just like quickly looks back at the rest of the group. I think there's a brief look at Mac, and his eyes kind of sink for a moment. Just looks at the ground. And then he just goes over to Carrick to see if he's okay.
Is that something that Mac could have picked up on?
Yeah, I don't think Vael's in a mental state to be hiding much at the moment.
Okay, so yeah, Mac, you take that for what you will. We'll just say you noticed it then.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily want a scene with Carrick, but just that's what he did.
For all of that, Melly just lays down on the ground and takes a little nap.
Does she start off with like, think about nothing, think about nothing, think about nothing, like, or just a nap?
No, it's just like a straight, like, you don't even really remember laying down, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I was sleeping? When did that happen?
Very nice, very nice. Does anyone have anything else before we move past the rest?
That was all for me.
Okay. I think we'll just end a little bit early tonight and pick up from there next time. It's such a nice point of closure. Really, the only thing that you guys have to think about is what kind of loot you might possibly find if you
That's
continue
not
on.
closure. Mac needs his money. Where's the gold?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll I think we'll pick up from there probably next week. I know we have some scheduling things that we're gonna have to work on personally, but we will probably be back next week. If not, it will be the week after. But that's just all the more the reason to follow us on all the things, because we'll be talking about it there and we'll let you know what to expect. Wow, guys. Freaking
We did it.
freaking killed the dragon. 1 year. Look at us. Who would have thought?
We did it.
So from now on, it's just gonna be called Dungeons. We killed
Because
the
we
dragon.
Killed one. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Nia, you should be thanking us. You should be thanking us for stopping early so that you can go to sleep. What it has to be so crazy late. Usually you're gone by like 8. I think maybe. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. We're working on something right now. That's why there's this awkward you know. So just hold on one second. We do have more stuff planned though. Okay. Here or there. Let me get a here or there from everyone.
I say here.
Okay.
So wait,
I
you
was
want us
there,
to
but I
say
vote here now.
you want us to say here or there, right?
Just here
That's
or
what you're
there.
asking for. Here or
That's what I'm
there.
asking for. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Figures.
I see what
I think
you
we're
did
just gonna say
there.
here.
Here.
Okay. All right. So I'll close this out for editing purposes, but we're gonna do something that we've done on our personal channel a few times, which is what we like to call Ancient Relics and Talky Religions, where you get to ask the cast any sort of questions that you want to ask them, and we'll just kind of talk about all the things and talk about the session and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that if you're here in chat, and otherwise, if you're there on YouTube, then just find that video because it'll be around somewhere. There'll be links to it in the comments probably. So if this is your first time here, I really hope you enjoyed yourself. I saw a lot of new names in chat today, and it's always great to see that. I love to see that, and please give us a follow on Twitch. Find us on all the interwebs. Our names are right underneath our faces here. And you could find Jake and I every week Wednesdays at youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. You can also find all our stuff by using command JnJ in chat. Join our Discord, and we'll talk about all the things always. And don't forget to follow Raredrop Roleplay, and go to raredrop.co to see all of the super cool, awesome things. And my friends, please be kind to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the next time. But just kidding, because welcome back. We are going to do an episode of Ancient Relics and Talky Religions. I believe this is episode 4. Is that correct? Episode 4, Jake?
I think you're right, yeah.
Episode 4. Wow, and this is the first one that we were doing on Raredrop, just right after the show. So we got all the fun people here.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is the year party. This is the 1 year party. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that it's been a year since we started this thing. It certainly doesn't feel like it's been that long. Basically, what this is, Ancient Relics and Talky Religions, is our little show about the show, where we'll give you all the little insight into what our characters were thinking, and any sort of questions that you have for me, the DM, them, the players, or the characters, and anything like that. We'll ask each other questions, you'll ask questions in chat, and then we'll all just have some fun learning together. So we have Evan, Jake, Izzee, and Michael. You could find them at their socials right underneath their names. And, drop us a follow. And, well, if you have a question that fits about what we're talking about, just ask away and we'll get right there. So I guess before I even ask questions that I have, I'm just going to address what we have in chat right now because we already have questions. So I think this is for Evan. Skeletal Gadget asks, what would you have done if your character died to the dragon?
So I think that is very context dependent. So I have been mentally preparing for that possibility for 2 weeks because I don't remember if I said this on stream. I don't think I did, but I very much got outplayed by the DM during the turn leading up to the cold breath, because Echo's slow fall ability is dependent on having a reaction. You only get one of those per turn. I used it to negate the fall damage, and then it came time for the dragon to go. And the dragon said, "Hey, remember that ring of spell storing that you have that holds that absorb elements that reduces elemental damage by half? That's also a reaction, idiot." So there is a very real possibility that Echo could have failed his save. And if he took 76 or so points of damage, he would have been dead. Outright dead on the spot. To expand on that, Jake and I were talking a lot over the week and discussing, like, we don't really know what Josh did with this stat block for this dragon, because there's lots of fun ways you can customize moves. There's lots of monsters that have abilities. If their ability reduces a creature to 0 hit points, it does something special. Josh could have very well added something that any target that is reduced to 0 hit points with this cold breath is turned into a block of ice, and must be like thawed or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like is considered petrified or something, to that extent.
Happened to the ogre.
He could have done right. There are a lot of possibilities that could have happened there. So if Echo died, I would have actually cried. I would have actually cried on camera.
I think we all would have.
I love him so much. I love Echo so much. For a person that doesn't exist, I really have a big place in my heart for him. And I guess the next steps would have depended on what happened, like if it was something where he's considered petrified and the group decides like, well, we got to figure out a way to resolve that, then I don't know. Either I sit out the next X number of sessions, or maybe Josh lets me roll a temporary character in the interim, if that's even a possibility. There's any number of things, so it's kind of hard to say. But the main thing is I would have been sad about it. Apparently that question was directed toward everyone, by the way.
Yes.
So I want to hear anybody else's thoughts.
Pick one.
Ask who you want to answer the question first.
I really want to ask Izzee this question because she was very concerned about Melly, and we all love Melly very dearly as well. I mean, all of these characters are phenomenal. So like, I think everyone would definitely be upset about it, but I'm just curious your thoughts on it as well.
Oh boy. I think, oh my gosh. I was like in all these what if scenarios beforehand, but then also I was in the, okay, let's just pretend everything's totally fine, because if I think about it too much, I'm gonna get really emotional. If Echo had gone down, Melly would have done everything in her power to get to him. She does have Thunderstep, which is 90 feet, so she would have just plopped herself right in the middle and like bear hugged Echo's body to hold on to him. So if the dragon tried to pick him up, or if anything tried to, like, something happened, she could pretty much be like a body shield for him, and then do Revivify on her next turn. That would have been like she would have done anything to get to Echo, and then hopefully eventually get him out. But getting him back up would have been her main concern.
But what if Melly died? What would you have done?
Oh,
I think that's what Skelly was getting at.
I
think that's what he was
misinterpreted.
asking too, but I think I really liked to hear your plan for that, like for what you would have done had Echo died, because that was a very real
that's
possibility.
what I thought. That's what I thought the question was. What would each one of us have done if Echo had died? None of our characters died.
I
sure
also
he'll clear it
interpret. I thought I asked it as what would you do if Belly died, but I may be mistaken in how I worded it.
Either way, I would also like to know, what would you have done if Melly died?
I don't know. I mean, obviously there would be tears. There were gonna be tears if anyone like actually died. But I don't know. My brain's not allowing me to process the question.
That's perfectly fine, honestly. Especially after playing these characters for a full year. And what are we, 36 sessions in? 36 sessions at like 3 to 4 hours a piece. That is a long time. We've done this for over 100 hours. That's a lot. So I totally get that. The not even being able to think about that, it's like, I don't want to think about it. If it happens, we'll figure it out then. That's where I would be. That's where I'm at with like Marcus, I think.
But also, I mean, if you do die, what can you really do? You just
Exactly.
gotta be like, okay, you guys got this. Okay, we're gonna pass this on to Michael. It's your turn to think about these challenging questions.
I mean, if my character died, it would be a lot of shock and awe. Cause no, that's not possible. I do expect to go down in a lot of fights just because of, going up there and whatnot. But I don't expect to die. and especially if you're talking about to where Melly would not be able to resurrect me, to where it's either there has to be something else more dramatic that has to be done to possibly hopefully bring me back. I mean, but it would be pretty devastating. Now, if your question was what would I do if Echo died? So first, I would probably bring his body back to the city to see if someone else could bring him back from the dead. And if he was not able to be brought back from the dead, I would probably try to assassinate the queen and hopefully survive that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I would blame her for that.
Yeah, no, I could see that for sure, especially based on everything that Mac has said about the situation.
And that's if Echo couldn't be brought back. If he was permanently dead and it was just there's nothing that we can do, then that's the route he would probably go.
Wow. I love that.
Mac has a special place for Echo. That's it. He really does. And it's not just me, but just in. I mean, when we've had some other conversations in the other talkies, but Echo is the one person that he truly does trust and is just has another connection. I mean, being a halfling does help too. Has that kind of a little bit extra of a bond also. And now, after that bombshell, I'll pass it on to Jake. Congratulations.
Yeah, I get to follow that. What would I do if Vael died during that? I think if the circumstances surrounding Vael's death felt kind of meaningless, I think that would hurt. But if Vael died, I mean, he was trained as a soldier. He didn't stay in the Glass Blades, but if he died defending his friends, I would feel like even though there's a lot more different kinds of stories I want to tell with Vael, I would feel like that would do him justice. So I would be sad, very sad, but I would at least feel as if his death had meaning in that situation. And then as D&D, I would roll up a new character and see how that's gonna fit in.
That's a D&D veteran for you,
but
folks.
It's just you can never be too attached. That's kind of the way I look at it. But it can be, you said, Josh, and everybody said, you're in these characters' heads and developing relationships from that point of view with the other characters and the other people at the table. So it would, I don't want to dismiss how much that would hurt, because it would. But I feel like this is a storytelling exercise, so as long as it had meaning, I would feel good about it. And then what would Vael do if Echo died? Vael would ask Spooky Johnson to fix it. And if he didn't, Vael would raise hell on his face. Because he promised he could keep his friends safe, and that would be him not fulfilling his promise, and he would then owe him one. And that's exactly how intensely Vael would feel about it too.
Josh is now like, okay, now I've got to kill Echo. Because I've got to see this happen. No, I'm just kidding.
As if we haven't talked about this before.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Echo is sweating nervously in the corner right now.
Now
While
we know
everyone's talking.
why the dragon picked Echo up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. I knew that was a thought.
Ooh.
I'm glad you said it. It's out there now.
But just, yeah, you know, like that's, at the very least, from Vael's point of view, I know it can look like whatever it looks like to everybody. This deal has paid off massively so far as he's concerned. He knows it's going to turn sour at some point and he may have to deal with whatever else is there. But he said he always delivers on his promises, so that's it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. How is everybody at this point? I know we've asked this question probably right after it was revealed that Vael had this deal. How does everyone think their characters are feeling about it now? Because he is kind of right. So far there really have been no downsides to it aside from feeling icky.
Well, I'll go with the easy one just because Mac is in the same place that he's been and he's okay with it. Like, he knows if and when whatever comes due we'll have to deal with, but we didn't have options at that point, really, to a certain extent. And it was what needed to be done is what needed to be done. And if we have to go fight a god later, we'll go fight a god, you know.
Simple, right? Like, I don't see the big point. That's the big problem.
I mean, we just
love-
faced down a dragon, like, for the sake of a teleportation circle. You think that we're not going to face down a god for the sake of our lives? I mean, come on.
I love the complexity and simplicity of Mac. How it's literally just, it worked. If it ends up not working, we'll just kill a god. It is what it is. Like, why am I going to worry about the details in between? We're just going to do what we have to do. I love it. That's one of my favorite things about your character. Izzee, how do you think Melly feels about it?
I don't think her feelings have changed. Like, she'll acknowledge that, like, obviously there have been benefits to it, but she saw firsthand what it did to Vael, and she's not prepared to let anybody go. And the fact that when Vael first interacted, he had no control. He couldn't, like, wasn't in control of his own facilities. That scares Melly because she knows how much everyone is all for their own choice, and Vael especially. So, like, to see him, like, flirt with this big unknown thing that is able to, just be like, boom, you're not yourself anymore. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, there's almost like a how far does that go, and is that happening now? Can that happen again? Kind of thing to that. There's a lot of levels to that. That's an interesting thing that I'm glad you pointed out.
It's fair.
Because I think I will say I personally sometimes I forget about that moment until you guys bring it up and I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, that was crazy, But so I love that. Actually, before we bring it to Evan with how Echo feels about that, you have any thoughts on that comment? Anything you want to add to that? The possibility of losing yourself? Anything like that? Yeah?
For me? Okay.
Yeah.
Losing his ability to control himself was definitely scary, and this is going to seem counterintuitive. But he thinks making this deal gives him much more control over Spooky Johnson than he previously had. So Vael, he approaches situations as like a spy would, kind of, right? So like he's not. Spies usually like pieces to stay where they are. He doesn't like when, like so like if say we successfully killed Freeman, he would see that as a problem. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we understand Freeman, right? So when it comes to this, he's like, that's an enemy. But now in Vael's mind, he is an ally, and he needs me to do stuff for him. So yes, he may be rough with certain things, but it's not as adversarial of a relationship right now. So that's kind of how it's almost like he did this to have more control, which is weird, but that's the way his brain works sometimes. Sometimes his mind is weird. I will say this, actually, the way Echo discussed going after the dragon right now, there's a part of Vael that's like, okay, so you get it now, right? You understand? Like he didn't say it because it wasn't even close to the time for something like that. But there was a point where he was
wildly
like,
inappropriate.
yeah, no, not even close. But he was just like, okay, so you know what it's like to know your friends have your back if you needed them, but you did this thing to help and protect because reasons. So
very nice. So how do you think Echo is feeling about that deal? I know you guys kind of had an opportunity to talk about that a few sessions ago, but if there's anything you want to add, go for it.
Yeah, I won't get long-winded with it, but Echo, I think the biggest thing for Echo is he still doesn't understand. Like Vael's whole thing is, for the most part, being extremely meticulous. Everything has like an end goal. I know what the next move is, and I think I know what the next move is after that. With this, even though like Vael has like sort of side moves, like he understands, like you said, like I know this enemy. Like this can be considered an ally because I know them. Like they're close with me, and well, he kind of did that to me before I was working with him, so he's probably less likely to do that now because we're working together. But there's like the whole other part of it, which is I don't know where I end up at the end of this, and it's weird to him that Vael is just kind of not addressing it. He's just like, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. And that like drives Echo absolutely crazy. But at the same time, so he is not happy with how this is all progressing. And to be honest, the fact that the next morning after their discussion, Vael woke up and was like, hey, look at all these cool new tricks I have. And Echo's like, okay. He's a little bit more willing to have faith in that decision, because he still loves Vael as a person. And at least to some extent, while he doesn't understand the end goal, he knows that he wouldn't do it for absolutely no reason. So he has a little bit more faith in that. Especially after talking and basically their conversation ending with like, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree because, neither of us are going anywhere. So he's not happy, but he's not going to let that kind of get in the way of things anymore, and is more willing to deal with things as they may come up. But he'll still get a sour taste in his mouth from time to time.
kind of didn't expect that, but that's really cool.
No, I kind of have a question, and this might be something that Echo has to process to necessarily right this second, because obviously he has a lot going on after this fight. But the crazy thing that Echo did in this fight is the same sort of crazy thing that Vael did, except Vael's is longer term. Like, we don't know the outcome of it yet, but we didn't know the outcome of Echo grabbing onto the dragon in the middle of the fight. We're still in the middle of it, but at the time it was the best decision. Even if it was a little crazy, it was, in the moment, this was the best decision to be made. Do you think that possibly having done something to a smaller scale, might make him put that correlation of 2 and 2 together? Or, I mean, it still might not, like with the ramifications of it, still might not outweigh the benefits, but do you think that he might see it differently in that aspect?
It's kind of hard to say, because I would argue that Echo might see that as a false equivalence if it was a thing that was brought up to him, because the knowns for, this is going to sound crazy, but the knowns versus unknowns for I'm going to jump on the back of a dragon versus I'm going to make a deal with something whose name I don't know are way different. Like, I know what'll probably happen if I jump on the back of this dragon. It's not great, but I know what it is. And with this thing, it's kind of like, well, he seems pretty bad and I may as well be on his good side. Feels like it's not quite enough for Echo to have made the same decision. He's not the one who had to make the decision, but Echo would not be able to justify it. In this case, it was just like Max said, it was a moment of having faith that his friends would be able to at least use the opportunity he could try to create to stop this dragon, to take it down. He does have a decent amount of regret for it, because I think he's going to be haunted by this for a little bit, like mentally, emotionally. Like, not exaggerating, he's probably going to have, like nightmares and flashbacks and like of being dragged around, frozen to death, and he's going to be thinking about that a lot. So it's not exactly, it's not a moment of pride for him. But Mac framing it as like, I loved the exact wording was wonderful. And I believe, if I'm quoting this correctly, what you did wasn't crazy or stupid. It was faith. Was spot on, perfect. And exactly what Echo needed to hear. Because I think he may not have also understood why he was doing it. And that was it. It's like, I trust that everyone will be able to, this might be kind of stupid, but I think everyone might be able to make something work out of this.
Just give him an actual Domp noodle. He'll be fine. I think it's fair to say that Max speaks Echo's language very well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I have a question that it's for either Jake or Michael. I don't know if you guys want to answer it or if we just want to let it play out, but we ended this session right before we ended with kind of a weird interaction between the two of you, and this kind of like nice moment. Vael seemed a little detached, especially when he made eye contact with Mac, kind of looked down into the ground. Do either of you want to give any detail as to what Vael is thinking, or how Michael might have, or how Mac might have felt about that? Or we could also just let that play out across the next few sessions, as I'm sure it will.
It's a good question. I don't know if there's much I want to say, because I think Vael has a very deep inner monologue as to why he's, I mean, it's no secret he's upset with Mac. I will say this. Vael doesn't feel like he can express his feelings right now without coming off. He doesn't feel like he can do it in a way that he would feel in control. Like he would just come off either being petty or being angry, or he feels like Mac wouldn't hear it, so he just says, "What's the point?" That's kind of the that's the mindset Vael is in right now. But I don't know if Michael wants to say anything in particular about the subject.
You know, I Mac has speculation as to why Vael is mad. Like, he kind of thinks that it's probably because that Vael's mad because he may have risked his brother's, like, what is the word, reputation by it. And that side of it Mac doesn't care, because we're risking our lives. And you know, but if there is more to it, then, you know, like, he knows that Vael's mad, but he also knows that Vael's a professional, and at the end of the day, we're gonna do what we need to do. You know. And if he wants to approach him, he can approach him. It really will be interesting to see how Vael approaches Mac, because it could have drastically different outcomes, and obviously that's probably like about as much as I'll go into it, because like I don't want to spoil anything of it. But
yeah, I mean, I would say you got about 10 to 15% of it, so like I wouldn't say that that's not involved, you know, but I would say the level of reaction that he's getting, depending on how perceptive and insightful you feel Mac would be, it's not matching up. That's all I think I would say at that point, especially with that, like, everybody's talking about how much they love each other and that awkward look, and then look down and just walks away. I think that might have been a little bit of like a but like I don't know how Mac would feel about it. So again, there's a lot going on in this particular moment too, so it's all, it is what it is.
There's a lot happening there.
Isn't it 4d6, by the way?
Yes, 4d6. Oh, I said 4d4. Yes. Yeah, Nia asked essentially how we determine ability scores. As far as like what to prioritize, it just kind of depends on what kind of character I'm making and like what I want them to be good at, and how we do it. It's just 4d6. We drop the lowest, and then our thing that we add to that is you get one reroll. So usually it gives you a pretty nice character, pretty fun character. Okay, all right. It's I guess it's starting to get kind of late. Does anyone have anything that they want to mention? Any questions for each other, for me, for whatever? Before we kind of start to wrap up. Okay, what you got?
Just, did you think we'd kill the dragon tonight, or in that fight?
I knew it was a possibility. Okay. The dragon. So my plan. I'll say this. I didn't use an ability when I had planned to. I just kind of forgot about it. And then like you went, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. You know. So it might have went a little bit differently and dragged on a little bit longer. I think it was better this way, personally. But you know, I had all sorts of fun planned for potential lair battles, and you know, we'll just save those in the old DM notebook, the old Hero Book GM edition for next time.
Yep, I get it. Every DM has been there, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I never know what to expect with you guys, honestly. Like I always expect to be surprised, and 9.5 times out of 10 pleasantly surprised by what you guys are gonna do. 10 times out of 10 pleasantly surprised. You know, so there's always the possibility that you would do it. I mean, that was a lot of damage. That was shock and awe for real. But
well, the second crit by Echo, holy cow. Oh, now I have advantage again.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You would think I was making it up, but on both times on the last hit, couldn't, honestly, unbelievable.
That was
Yeah,
incredible.
that was a game changer, honestly. And if for some reason I used some like DM trickery to let the dragon get away after all of those like hero moments, I feel like it wouldn't have added to anything. It would have actually taken away from that moment. So I'm glad that it played out the way it did.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know what the dragon's fly speed was, but I was gonna run after it, firing arrows as long as I could.
80-foot fly speed. There may or may not have been some weird things going on there too because of damage to a wing in a prior fight. But yeah. So I guess I mean, great job, everyone. Before we sign off, I would like one. Oh, okay, all right. So Nia's asking in chat about our first session and us doing like a commentary type thing over it. We will be doing something like that soon. It's kind of, there's a lot of moving parts there, and our schedules haven't really lined up that great, aside from obviously Sundays these past few weeks. But we will be doing that soon, and just stay tuned to all the socials because we'll let you know as soon as that happens. One question I want to ask everyone before we go, as we kind of sign off, is the next step, right after we get through all of the stuff, is to go to Echo's place of where he grew up. So if you can, what's one like embarrassing question you want to ask Master Dinois about Echo when he was a young monk trainee, or just something you hope to learn about him as we kind of shift to, I don't know, well, a more Echo focused story, if you will. Jake, you go first.
Sure, that's a good question. One thing Vael wants to know, I don't know if it's going to be a Master Dinois question or not, but Vael really wants to know more about the man that gave Echo his staff. Because I wrote that down as, I just have like a bullet point list of Vael's thoughts, and that's one of them, because you mentioned it and the timing never seemed right. At least for whatever reason. But Echo mentioned that he was the only one that didn't think he was crazy for wanting to do something on his own. So Vael wants to know more, like, is that like something specific, or is he just like, I'm setting out on my own, or is it like he just wants to learn more about his friend? You know.
All right.
That's something.
Awesome. Izzee, do you have anything that you think Melly would be either interested to learn about, or just something funny she might, like the same way you made breakfast with Vael's mom and had the conversations with them, that kind of thing? Is there any sort of family training drama you're looking forward to?
Definitely think Melly is going to ask about Echo learning to meditate, and
Oh.
and how he was when he was first learning like those skills that he has, since that was something that he's taught Melly. And then of course she's also looking forward to just like seeing like where he grew up, meeting the people who helped shape him into the wonderful halfling that he is.
That's great. Oh, I can't wait to dive into that. Michael, do you have anything you want to add?
So this is one of the few times that Mac doesn't annoy me, but I feel like Mac would be too business. Mac would be too much. He would be, we're here for a reason. We're not here to investigate Echo. We're here because we have a nuke in a bag over there. So like, I feel like on that aspect, he probably wouldn't. But I want to know how many times and who kicked his butt the most in the training sessions. Like, who was the person that he could never beat, or just like who is his rival here is what I personally want to know, even though I don't know if, depending on how it goes, maybe Mac would, but I feel like he might be too business to dip into that.
Okay. Very nice. I love all of those answers.
But I want to know
Evan.
more about Mac, or about Echo. I want to know more.
Evan, do you have anything you wanna say about any of those questions, or we'll find out when we find out, and that's it.
I think we'll have to find out when we find out. There's one of the questions, and I won't say which, just because I think that wouldn't be fair. One of the questions I'm very close to, like I could tell you something about that, but I don't think that would be as interesting. Even though this is, obviously extra, like it's outside the scope of the show and the game. I think I'd rather leave that to be brought up organically. I think that would be more fun.
All right. Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Well, I'm glad we were able to do that. Thank you, players and my friends for being flexible with me there, staying a little bit late and doing that thing. What? Skelly, if you got something, make it quick, because we gotta go.
I'm being deep quick.
Wait, Skelly said.
I'm pretty sure Skelly wants us to wait. It's like I had to cut the paragraph I already wrote just to type in wait.
Skelly, some of us wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna say who, but look at
In
Discord.
Oh, maybe we went to Josh.
No, I got nothing.
I see. Oh, now it's in there.
Oh. Whoa. Whoa, Jake, can you please put that up on screen?
Oh, man. Yes,
Wow.
I will find a way. Hold on.
Holy cow. Skelly,
I'm
have
afraid
I
I
ever
know
told
what
you
I'm
you're
doing.
incredible? Because you're incredible. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a
Talk
display
about
'cause
worth
it's
the wait.
fastest thing.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Hold
my
on.
gosh. Pay no attention to the things you may or may not be seeing right now, because Jake's gonna make it look a little bit better in like 3 seconds.
I did the wrong what?
Oh my god.
There it is. Wow.
Professional
Skelly.
stream here, folks. Professional stream.
Well, it's on the fly.
Nobody look.
It's on the fly. That's incredible, Skelly.
Wow.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I can't believe you just made that. But obviously you had to have, because we just did this session.
That is amazing.
Oh man. That's crazy. Skelly,
I know what my new
thank-
wallpaper is. Holy smokes.
Yeah, for real.
This
for
is the
real.
coolest thing ever.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody
yeah,
follow him on the things. Like, just do
Yeah.
it.
Follow Skelly on literally everything. He's the same, as far as I know, he's the same tag on here as he is on Twitter. It's just Skeletal Gadget, spelled exactly how it's supposed to be spelled. If you can't find that, then search through any of our following lists and it'll be in there.
And yeah, actually, and really quick, I know we've got, actually right on screen now, we've got Melly's character art. So Sugared Row has done some stuff. I know Sugared Row is working on something fun for Evan. I'm not going to really say much about that, but Evan loves a lot of things that we've done. If you have made character art, please share it with us, whether it's on Twitter, you want to go to our Discord. I would love, and I'm just going to have to talk to Paul and Kevin about this. I would love to get some kind of a way to just feature any character art that somebody has made for the show, because
Yeah.
that just like warms my heart so much to see moments that have meant so much to us just like come alive. Like Skelly, when you did the scene also with when we were with Owen, I forget exactly the details, but you put a quote that he put on there too. Like that was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Truly.
was awesome. Oh man. Thank you so I really can't think of a better way to have our 1 year anniversary episode, aside from if we were able to do it in person, but obviously that's not really a realistic possibility. But thank you everyone for showing up and hanging out with us. All of our socials are going to be right underneath our faces, so just follow us at all those places if you want to keep up with us. You can type command JnJ in chat and you'll be able to get our link tree and all of our things. Let's talk in Discord. You can see Skelly's awesome art. And check out youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. And if we didn't get to your questions, I'm sorry about that. Ask them in Discord and we'll definitely answer them or save them for next time and we'll talk about them there. This has been Ancient Relics and Talkie Religions, right after Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. Thanks for 1 year, everybody. It's really been incredible, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So we love you. Be kind to each other, stay safe, and we'll see you on Sunday.